Joining us in the last part of the news hour is Eric Miller, our, to put it mildly, wizard with all things YouTube and video, who has populated our YouTube channel, but who has also recently stood as candidate for candidate as a delegate for Bernie Sanders, and who has intentions of announcing a run for office quite soon, but who has also made a small study of reading about these 28 pages that have been in the news the last couple of days from the 9/11 report. So, Eric, why don't you come join me here on screen and let's talk about the 9/11 report, and you are more than welcome to plug your candidacy.
All right, yeah. In regards to the 9/11 report, I want to give kind of a little bit of recognition to Senator Bob Graham from Florida. Now, he was actually a member of the team that was commissioned to produce the 9/11 report, and he's been lobbying for years to get these 28 pages released, actually more than 28 pages. And he's been on every talk show. He's been going around any opportunity he could to bring awareness to the fact that there was a lot that we did not know. He actually speculated that the reason the United States held this report so close was because of our close relationship and our close ties with Saudi Arabia, and there was some speculation even that we were using this report as leverage with Saudi Arabia. The 28 pages being released comes shortly after a bill that was passed in the Senate this past May that actually made it a possibility for the families of 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia over the attacks. Now, when we move into the actual information that the 28 pages provided, I think really it raises more questions than it gives us answers. It was heavily redacted. Some people are saying that the 28 pages were so redacted that it was only an equivalency to 3 pages of actual information. There's still multiple different investigative reports that would provide many more details about the hijackers and their relationships with Saudi Arabia, including a 9/11 Commission report that we did last year that was kind of a report about the original report. Also, there was a lot of classified documents from the raid of Osama bin Laden that were not released. We did release 200 pages, but there were many more that were not released, along with investigators who interviewed different terrorists at Guantanamo Bay that were linked to the 9/11 attacks, and those interviews were never released. Now, some of the juicy details that we did get was the role of Prince Bandar. He was a close George Bush advisor who paid almost $90,000 to Osama bin Laden, who was not only associate of the hijackers, but also a close friend to a man that was arrested for his role in the 1993 World Trade Center bombings. It also raises questions about the Saudi government using charities to launder money. And some people believe that these documents reveal a lack of counterterrorism cooperation from the Saudi government, specifically because of a memo that was included in the 28 pages that showed that Saudi Arabia told the United States specifically that they would not help and would not assist in us locating Osama bin Laden. Another person that people are questioning had ties with the Saudi government is Fahad al-Thumairy. I apologize if I mispronounced that. He was a Saudi consular official based out of California at the time of the 9/11 attacks, and he was an imam at a mosque that was frequented by 2 of the hijackers. And we now have information that he apparently had assigned people to take care of some of the hijackers.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is indirect Saudi state sponsorship of radical mosques in the United States.
That's exactly.
And that these mosques are being used to radicalize the youth, the Islamic youth in America.
That's what the speculation is, and that's what these pages kind of bring the questions about. Now, what else I feel like raises more questions is the fact that Senator Graham was part of the commission that created these reports, and he is going out so heavily trying to get all this information released. So I really feel like that's a good indicator that there's some things that the American people deserve to know that still aren't released.
Okay, but I know that you also have some information on we shouldn't be fooled by thinking that the information is now out there, that now the 9/11 Commission report is done. Your research paper that I looked through very quickly suggested that there are hundreds of pages still missing. Can you go into detail about that?
Well, the pages that are missing, they come from a variety of different reports, and so the other big problem is the redaction of the pages that they did release. Like I was saying, it basically amounts to about 3 pages of information. Now, we're touting that it was 28 pages, but they were so heavily redacted that there really wasn't 28 pages of information released. With the commission, there's about 34 more pages that still haven't been released, as well as a variety of other reports about this report and other classified documents that we obtained during our raid of Osama bin Laden in 2011.
Okay, so what about the prisoners in Guantanamo? Aren't there also a lot of information to be had there from the so-called interrogation, I would call it torture, of the people at Guantanamo?
Absolutely, Nis. I mean, we're talking about 10 years of different interviews and investigations and interrogations of co-conspirators of the 9/11 attacks, and none of these investigations have been released to the public.
Okay, so when we're talking about 28 pages, we're actually talking about 3 pages, and what we in reality are talking about is the absence of several hundreds of pages when you look at all the information gathered, and that's not even covering whatever the NSA picks up whenever someone picks up a phone and says Islam. Okay, so wonderful. So is there any good news to be had from the release of these, let's call them the 3 pages of the 9/11 Commission report then? Is there any good news to be had here?
Well, I guess that's all kind of opinion, Nis. I guess for me, the good news is that there's a little bit more information for the families of the 9/11 victims. But honestly, man, it just feels like there's something that smells here.
Yeah. I remember as a young man, I watched the Michael Moore movie, Fahrenheit 9/11. I'm not going to go as far as to call it a real documentary in that word's original meaning, but in that movie, he has interviews with FBI special agents who were conducting the case, who were actually lamenting that the Saudi royal family, the entire Saudi royal family, the same day that the attacks happened, were the only ones who were allowed to use airplanes in the United States. And they were put on planes and sent back to Saudi Arabia very, very quickly. They did not have to in any way talk to anyone about the attacks. So I know from that, and I know from the papers that were released unredacted in this movie, that the Saudi family has been in the business of promoting the Bush family and helping them out, as well as what this paper, these papers now show us that they have also been in the business of funding mosques. And we're not talking about your local neighborhood mosque that is basically like your local neighborhood church. We're talking about mosques in which the imams are preaching extremism. Yeah. So let's hope someone acts on this.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the crazy shit that Ted Cruz and Donald Trump is talking about, us needing vigilante neighborhood watches walking around patrolling specifically Muslim neighborhoods. I'm talking about not letting the Saudi Arabian royal family have free reign with their money in the United States. So, Eric, any last words on this subject before we move into our second half?
I just want to say I completely agree with what you said about the royal family, and that is one thing that these pages did show, was the relationship, especially with Prince Bandar and his role with these attacks all the way back to the 1993 attack.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get a bit of good news from you, Eric. You have an announcement of sorts. You have a candidacy to announce. Let's hear it.
Yes, so I'm actually, I've created a discovery team, and I'm ready to push forward with running for city council here in Olympia, Washington for 2017. And actually, I'm hoping my Project Sanity brothers will play a big role in that, and I'm really excited. And I'm going to make a public announcement this Sunday at the Bernie March at the Capitol building here in Washington State.
Yeah, and through you, we hope to actually provide live coverage of that said Bernie March. And not just that, Dave Coennen, who, by the way, I cannot neglect to mention, was the one who edited and put together the interview of Masha Mendieta. He will be covering a like march in California. If any of you know of other marches going on, we know ourselves about a march going on to Philadelphia, but we don't have any direct contact to that march as of yet. So if any of you know of any other marches taking place Sunday, and anyone who's periscoping it, anyone who's YouTubing it, or who can join us on a Hangout and filming it while they're on the Hangout, please let us know, because our coverage of the Democratic Convention starts 8 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern Time, and it ends at night Friday. So if you have anything to show us, if you have anything to share with us, please contact Project Sanity or the Progressive Army that we are working very closely with in making this coverage happen. So, yeah. Richard, why don't you get in here? I seem to be rambling a bit.
What I was basically saying is I was thanking all the folks that contributed to Eric with the show, and then also mentioning some of the great coverage we're going to have with the debate that Benjamin Dixon is going to be hosting with Ron Yakalchuk and Bakari Sellers, and Mark Lamont Hill, I believe, is going to be there as well. I think they're still sorting out the details, but that should be some awesome stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. And other than that, I won't rehash what I said. The people that I was speaking to directly anyway heard it, so I'll go on and go ahead, Nis.
I just wanted to mention as well that Dave Coennen has set up some unprecedented access to the Jill Stein campaign for us next week, so we will also be bringing that. And Richard, it seems like we still have some audio problems of some sort.
Yeah, it takes a little while for it to go through. I caught that message.
Okay, now they can hear us, it seems like. Okay, so sorry guys, we're still getting better and better at this. As you can see, we try and add something new each time. This time we have lower thirds. Next time we'll have audio. At some point it'll actually become a show.
Yeah, you add some, you take some away, and on that note, during the convention coverage, if any of you've done the math, that's a ridiculous amount of hours for just me to be behind, and also David Grossman is also involved in the production side towards the evening. But we're also contacting and working on getting some other assistance in the technical production side, and so they'll be able to help keep me less scatterbrained, so I'll be able to make sure not to miss the stuff like, I don't know, putting myself on screen while I was just talking right now. So apologize. We're working on it, and I thank you so much. We can't do this without your guys' support and your patience with the issues that we're working on. But thank you so much for all the work that you guys are doing to help spread it around. Also, as Nis mentioned earlier, I just want to make sure that we mention it specifically. We're going to be trying to simulbroadcast to Project Sanity's new channel, which is up. So if you're just finding Project Sanity now and you want to see some of the stuff that we've done in the past, or if you are just looking for a clip that may have existed and you wanted to capture it again, they're broken up over there, and Eric's done an amazing job with getting that started and getting that sorted out. So you can find the Project Sanity Twitter page. You can find the YouTube. We also have the community going now. So we're going to have all of those places live and up for the convention. So you'll be able to get engaged in a variety of different platforms and share along a variety of platforms our engagement and what we're covering. So thanks everyone for all of that. And also, again, this is a good time to mention thank you to the Benjamin Dixon channel for helping host all of this, and for allowing us to use this platform to help get the message out to all the folks that are definitely going to be looking for quality convention coverage, I'm sure, after they've seen what I would call a less than stellar job from corporate media at the Republican convention. And so there's going to be lots of exciting events going on and lots of exciting coverage. So please join us, and please make sure that friends and other progressives you're aware of are keen to what we're doing so that they can tune in as well.
Yeah. And just so you don't think that we are going to cover this as regular news, we're not going to show you the balloons, and we're not going to show you a bunch of delegates just standing there, stamping their feet and rattling stuff. We are actually bringing you unprecedented access through our delegate contacts. They have access to levels of the convention where even press are not allowed. We are going to be able to give you status updates on strategy meetings from the Bernie delegations. And we are also through our partners at the Progressive Armies, like Anoa from her show The Way With Anoa. She's presenting us with a lot of access to a lot of grassroots organizations that are in Philadelphia. And Dave Coennen has established contact with the Jill Stein campaign. We'll be sitting down and having a direct interview with her. We are trying to coordinate some partnership with Vice News as well. We don't know where that will land yet, but we're very excited about that prospect. So Project Sanity is about to take off, everyone. So is the Progressive Army, and the Benjamin Dixon show, I'm pretty sure already took off quite heavily not so long ago. So stay tuned and come with us Sunday, and come with us Sunday and stay with us throughout the week, all the way to Friday, where we will have a sum up of the week and a laid back Friday show with beers and popcorn and relax and talk with you guys and chat. And Terry J, to answer your question, you're new here, found you through Benjamin Dixon. How can we support you? Okay, so you can support us by going to projectsanity.org. And subscribe to our new YouTube channel. We are going to be streaming to both Benjamin Dixon's channel and our channel all next week. And you can also, in the video description, you can find all sorts of ways to contact us, both to submit stories, to become a member of our Google Plus community and help us find stories and cover stories. Or you can take the a step further and try to bring us reports, even if it's just from your camera phone. We'll do what we can to help you clean up your footage, but any footage you have from community events, we will take a look at it and put it up, and we're hoping that after the convention we can expand to more weeks of the day. So that is how you can help us. That was a very long answer to a very short question.
Well, I did want to mention, I also want to mention we got Michael Salamone with Podcast Revolution is going to be out there. He's going to be on the ground, and he's going to be, I think, pretty identifiable in some way. So once we have some details about exactly what they're going to be doing, we'll pass that along. But they're going to be providing some great coverage from the ground outside of the convention. And we have the Louisa Project, and lots of other people are contributing. And just so you know, that's also part of what's contributed to today's show, is that we've been kind of frantically trying to make sure all this is all lined up. And as Nis rattled off, we've been making a lot of connections just very recently, as recently as today. And so we're plugging along, and we're working really hard to make sure to give you the best coverage of the convention that we can. And so. Yeah. I'm just really energized and excited about it, and I'm probably going to end up waking up even earlier to try and get on those early shifts with you, just because I'm going to be so excited.
Yeah, and unlike Wolf Blitzer, we ask follow-up questions. Okay.